We're good.
All right. Hey, Mr. Daly. Well, good afternoon.
Hello, what's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, real good, man. I really appreciate our conversation last week where we touched on, man, how Jesus recruits. And as a
Mm,
coach, how he says things to get us from one point to another.
right.
And towards the end of our conversation, you were like, hey, man, let's talk about Court of Gold, USA team against Serbia, France, and let's try to extrapolate some insights there. Hence, I wrote some USA.
Let's
So
go. I
yeah,
see
so
that.
let's yeah. So let's do it, man. Let's talk about USA basketball and how we can gain some spiritual insights.
Let's go.
All right.
So let me ask you, did you watch that game live, the championship
I
game?
did. Absolutely.
Do you remember where you were and everything like that?
I don't remember our words for that one. For Serbia, I do, because I was working and the game was on. I don't work for Johnson Johnson anymore, so you can't do nothing. So I was like, hey, J&J, I love you. I'm pulling over. I'm taking an extended lunch break to catch this game. So yeah, I was at a Mexican restaurant and asked them to put on the game. I ate my tacos while I watched Serbia. But France, I
Wow.
can't remember where I was for that game.
Wow.
Do
Yeah, it
you?
was special, man. I do remember, dude. I was in my basement and I turned everything off. Like I think we had a text thread going with our guys,
Yeah.
but I like had no distractions and I had the game up and I had the same vibes like when we played Spain back with Kobe, the Redeem
Yeah.
team,
I
and
remember.
that was touch and go for a minute with
It
Spain.
was.
And I had the same energy I felt like in this game. I was like, man, we barely won the last game. We're in the championship. It's at Paris's house. I don't know, you know. And so, man, I remember every moment of that game, especially the end. It was amazing.
It was. I remember being on edge because Curry wasn't playing all that good. He was playing, but it wasn't Curry-esque that we're used to.
Right.
So he hit that in Serbia. So waiting to see what happens in France. Little Tatum Kerr drama going on. What's going to happen? But anyway, but yeah, it was very possession to possession game. So,
Yep.
bro, I never played D1 basketball nor professional. So can you? And this segues into USA basketball. Can you tell me how much more difficult does it get tactically, strategically from high school, D1, and pro? Yeah, can you share me?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I think every level you go up, the game's going to get faster, stronger, um, and guys are quicker in general. And then I'd say mentally as well, processing faster, making decisions faster. So again, in my journey from high school to college to JUCO was a jump. I remember going. I played at junior college in Bellevue, and they're like, "We're going to start you a point guard." I was like, "Let's go!" First game, 8 turnovers,
Wow.
and they're like, "We're throwing you to the wolves, man." So
Figure it
it
out.
took me a while to adjust, and that was just JUCO, and then going from JUCO to at that time Big 12, just everything like the time you had to get your shot off, efficiency became more important. You didn't have as much time to get your shot off. It's going to get blocked or contested. Passes you thought were open,
Hmm.
the windows close up a lot quicker. You might think you have a lane. By the time you make your way down that lane, it closes up or someone pins you off the glass. And then guys verticals. I remember playing with guys and playing against somebody, and you think, okay, I cut him off, he's done, and then they might just elevate and dunk.
Jeez.
So that's definitely different. What I think from my perspective watching the Olympics is like it's about KYP, know your personnel. You need the right guy shooting the right shots at the right time, and you only have one ball. And so that to me, that is the hardest part about execution is it's got to be the right guy. And if you make a series of poor decisions, that can cost you the game in one stretch.
Jeez.
So that game was intense, and I'm with you, Steph. He hadn't done much until the game before, and then going into the final stretch, it was close. It
It
was
was.
that last quarter was close, and I was nervous, man. I thought U.S. might take an L, and then watching the documentary, you could hear they were thinking the same thing. they're trying not to think about it, but they're like, this might be it, you know. Um, so then of course Steph uh, took over the game, and from the documentary, Kerr was talking to him, and Steph suggested a play with him and LeBron where
Yeah.
he's the screener, and then he pops after setting the screen, and he hit the first three, and then and then move out the ball at the second three, and then the third three. So it was just like, to me, that puts him up there. That might have been one of the most influential minutes in basketball history.
Absolutely. And it's so funny that thanks for breaking down earlier the difficulty of the game, that it gets faster, and obviously they're mentally but also physically. So Olympics is, I think, some of the highest level of basketball, because you got America's best coach coaching the best players for each
Yep.
country, effectively. So it's the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And so at that level, yeah, like any mistake is definitely capitalized on. But when you talk
Yep.
about the speed of it, I'm like, man, I don't even understand that, because
Mm.
that just makes no sense to me. So I'm trying to think, what are some spiritual insights, spiritual integration thoughts you have about competition, scouting, and I forgot what technical term you, the PYT, know your KYT, know your personality, KYP.
KYP. So that's a plug from the Iceman Classic too. So
Hey.
we just had our Iceman Classic. It was great. We had 50 plus hoopers, 40 plus hoopers from the region. But Harold Wright's the Iceman. That's his nickname. So he would always, when he was coaching me in JUCO, always say KYP. What that meant was, if you're a point guard, let's say you give it to your big fella in transition at the 3-point line, and then your big fella turns it over because he's not used to getting the ball in that area, I'd get yelled at. Like, KYP, know your personnel. Why are you passing to him in that situation? That's your fault.
Mhm.
So KYP is really knowing your personnel. And then I think I would integrate that with Jesus. Jesus understood his personnel. He understood the differences in personality with Peter. He told Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." Um, but he also knew when Peter denied him 3 times that he could reinstate him by asking him 3 times, "Do you love me?" And so I think Jesus knew his personnel of his disciples, so much so that he knew those were the guys to give the Great Commission to.
Mhm.
And so he understood the personnel. So, but going back to that game, I love hearing Steph talk about it because, greatest shooter we've probably ever seen. And he says when he hit the first one and he's like, calm down. He's like, I was talking to myself. He's like, I'm telling myself to calm down. But he really like, everybody calm down. And then he hit the second one, which was nuts because you're talking about these pressure moments that you were just talking about. You don't shoot these types of shots. Like, he's shooting open gym type shots in pressure moments. But my favorite quote, bro, I say it with a brother out here, an elder in our church. We say, "Don't worry about me," because when he hit the third one and Carmelo's on the side
Yeah,
going nuts,
he's
Steph's
free.
like,
He's
"Don't
doing his.
worry about me."
He's doing his curry shimmy.
Yep.
Yeah, but but you can't get to that point, that place,
Right.
unless you got hours in the darkness alone. And
Yep.
so what you said earlier, the game gets faster, stronger. And I've seen Curry before. Man, he's no taller than me, and he's not that yoked as well. So he's playing against these freak athletes. So the only way you get to do that is you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yep. Yeah. If you get a chance to go to an NBA game today and you go watch Golden State, you can get if you ask the right person, you can get a schedule of their pregame routine, what time he goes on. So we went to watch Trailblazers. We want to watch Steph warm up. They're like, you got 12 minutes. He's going to be out there for 12 minutes. And so everyone's waiting. Like, when Steph warms up, it's a crowd waiting for him.
Mm.
He came out, he had his routine. I mean, it was like a layup, like clockwork. He has his coach. He knows his routine. He has his trick shots routine. So yeah, bro, what you're talking about, I mean, you're talking about millions of reps that prepare him for that moment.
Bro, okay. So can I segue from there to something spiritual?
Yeah.
Is it foolish to think you can face temptation if you haven't done any spiritual practices, discipline of prayer, time with God, learn to talk with somebody about it? So I don't know what question I really want to ask, but like, just to be raw, is it stupid to think you can face temptation without work, without
Yeah.
training?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you can like basketball, but you have to put in the training to get to a point where you can play pickup and then organized and then high school and college. And so same thing, you can like Jesus, you can like the idea of Jesus, but do you want to live the life?
Mm,
You're going to have to do some training. You know, a lot of people like to lone wolf it, or hey, I don't want to be a part of a church. Well, there's a reason we have churches. There's a reason there's epistles in the Bible. It's like a team. You're gonna have to be on a team. You're gonna have to get your training, and then bring what God has blessed you with to your team, your spiritual team, your church. Um, and I think if we were going to talk about an area, Lawrence, of like high school to college to pro, I
yeah,
think that when our first calling is be a disciple. And then let's talk to the men. Most men want to date. That's a level up.
it is.
When
It
we
is.
first start dating our ladies, it's like your weaknesses rise
It's true.
it's like a mirror.
Yep.
Then it's like, okay, you want to be engaged. You're gonna have to do some training because this is a whole nother Satan
Yep.
will come at you in different ways. Okay, married. Okay, you want to have kids. Okay, you want to go after your career. So like, I do think there's a preparation and a testing and an endurance in the same way you train at your sport that we get in the life of a disciple.
There's levels to this.
Levels.
And I think so many people, especially in modern churches, think you can just show up on Sunday, maybe have your little daily bread devotional and have this nice private life and think, hey, that's Christianity. And that's part of it, but that's YMCA. Like there's so much more
Yeah.
that you're missing out on. Wow, I
Yep.
love that. Thanks for breaking it down through the idea of marriage and relationships. You said epistles. I just want to clarify for those that don't really read the Bible that much or as educated, what are the epistles? Can you just break that down real quick?
Yeah. So you've got your Bible. You've got Genesis in the Old Testament. The Old Testament's about 66% of the Bible. And then in the New Testament, you got the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You have the book of Acts, which records the actions of the disciples carrying out the Great Commission. And then you got these epistles, which is basically letters to churches. And team could be synonymous with church. It's like
Yeah.
a high level of a team, right? So yeah, you've got Romans, Corinthians, First, Second Corinthians. You've got Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, and Hebrews. So you've got different epistles, which are letters written to churches on how to live faithfully in a group setting as a community.
Awesome. Thanks, man. So, yeah, before I studied the Bible, I didn't know any of that. Galatians, what? Hebrews, who?
Right.
So, going back to levels of this, all right, what are some other things that people will miss out on by not putting in the Bible into daily practice? So, for example, like taking it back to Curry, and if Curry didn't put those hours in, obviously, he would never been able to do high school, AAU, D1, and 2 years now.
Yeah.
So, spiritually, what can we miss out on by not putting in that daily work?
Man, well, one theme is I like to bounce questions back to you. So I'll say one thing, and then I'm going to bounce that question to you as well. Um, the first thing that came to mind, El, and I can speak from experience, is I had unhealthy, unspiritual patterns that had to be
Mhm.
demolished, that had to be
Ah,
destroyed. And I think about the scripture, it talks about Jesus came to destroy the works of Satan.
mhm.
And so, like in the area of relationships, I had to demolish and unlearn unhealthy patterns. It wasn't like, and I think being young, you're kind of overconfident or cocky where, oh,
Yep.
I can just learn this overnight.
Yep.
I can learn to be pure overnight. I can learn how to date as a Christian overnight. I can do all those things without accountability or without, going back to square one. And so one of the biggest principles I think our campus taught me was if I'm going to go after this thing in a spiritual way, then however I act towards the sisters to encourage her in her faith
Yeah.
as a sister, a daughter of God.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if it was a phone call, a date, doing a favor, it was for myself to get what I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, this is a big principle. I need to get down to the root of it and demolish that, start from scratch, and understand there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn. So that the first one I would say would be like demolishing old habits.
Yeah. That's a good
What
one,
would you
man.
say?
I just want to comment on that too. Vince, shout out to Vince. I remember he said, yeah, guys in the world, non-Christian guys, do things for women. Hey, I'll open the door for you, give you some flowers, because really I want what I want. But I'm not going to make that known, right? But
Yep.
Christian guys, hey, I do things for you because I want you to see God. And so you're
Yep.
right. That's like a whole nother level where I'm thinking, how can I help someone else know God? So yeah, that's D1. You're at another level spiritually. So what I want to add to that is PTR. One of PTR's like statements, win souls.
Yep.
Like, man, what is greater? Shout out to Chris Schneider said this to me. He was like, Laurence, what can you take to heaven? I was like, man, easy question, bro. Nothing. I was like, actually, you can take your friends.
Wow.
So, I think about Matthew 9, the paralytic, when those guys broke some dude's roof, lowered their friend
Mm-hmm.
down. And it says that Jesus saw their faith. He's like, hey, I see your friends. And so you know what? And he forgave the paralytic. Then obviously he healed him. But man, how incredible would it be if you were able to help someone find and know God and get them to
Yep.
heaven? So I think, man, going for gold is obviously you get to heaven, but you being able to help somebody else get
Totally.
to heaven. But you can't get there unless you're living it daily. You got someone else in your life. You're overcoming these strongholds like you're talking about. Man, that takes that's high level Christianity. But it's
Yeah.
crazy. It doesn't mean you have to be the smartest. I think you just got to be humble. You just
Right.
got to be humble.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because it makes me think about, the most amazing
Hmm.
feats we see in sport. I mean, dude, we love sports. We love watching stuff happen. Like I remember I didn't even like Jordan. I respected Jordan, but I was a Magic Johnson fan. So I remember where I was though when he hit the shot against Utah and he held it for an extra second. Um, and I was like, man, that's like a magnificent closing to his career.
Yeah.
And I'm coaching these kids. We got about 100 kids at this camp, this youth camp, and I talk about that shot. And these kids are second grade to eighth grade, and none of them have seen that shot.
What?
And I'm like, this is Jordan,
Right.
you guys, of course you've seen the shot, like you've seen the shot, they don't even know what I'm talking about.
What? That blows.
So as great as these sport feats are, yeah, they're temporary. I mean, we're talking 20 years. It's been 20, yeah, about 30 years since he hit that shot. And that was an amazing shot, but in 30 years, a lot of this will be forgotten.
Wow. It makes me think of that verse in Isaiah where it says, man's glory is like the grass of the field, but only
Yeah,
the word of the Lord will stand forever. I bet all those little
right.
kids, they'll see a cross, they have an idea. Oh, yeah, Jesus, the cross. They got an idea of that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So I guess
So
I don't know where. Go ahead.
it's kind of like The Court of Gold is an amazing documentary about an amazing time, but like the real Court of Gold is
Bro,
heaven, bro. We're
yeah.
trying to get to heaven.
I was just about to ask that. So what is it? What is really going for gold? What is the true prize?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, basketball is just a game. It's beautiful. Every sport's amazing, but And there's something much higher than that. There's another level to it.
There is, man. And, we're talking about the Bible and some of the overview of the Bible. I think one of the books that captures that heart is Ecclesiastes. Um, you know, like
Yeah.
how would you explain, Lawrence, if you're walking up to somebody and they're like, "What's Ecclesiastes?" If you did like a
Mm.
30-second little summary, how would you explain
Man,
Ecclesiastes?
good question. Okay, I've never been asked that before. Ecclesiastes really explores the human soul and its
Hmm.
and all of its desires.
Right. Yeah, totally. And so, Solomon had all this, so wise, all this money, and there's a little bit of tone of like, yeah, this stuff's all kind of meaningless.
Yeah.
It's about something greater. And I think that you like our athletes go through this, okay, what is sports about? And man, D1, I loved getting gear. Bro, let me tell you, gear, I loved being at Missouri. I love the gear. I love the logo. When some of my homies made it to the NBA, I love getting NBA gear. You want the shoes no one has, all that
Oh,
stuff. My shoe game is rough now, but back in the day, right? And so you get the gear, right? Or you get notoriety,
yep.
or you get some per diem, some money. Now you get NIL, you get rings or lifelong memories, like all that stuff. To me, it's all in the same place of Ecclesiastes. It's like that's it. There's got to be more to it. There's got to be more. And so I think, yeah, if you can connect your faith and not only be faithful in your life,
Yeah.
but if sport can be a tool to help bring some others with you, like
Yeah.
win some souls. And it's not in a way of like, I gotta save them, I gotta be the guy. No,
Right.
you might just help. You might just put a Bible in their hand.
Right.
You might point, you might hold them accountable, whatever. But if you can do something to help towards someone finding their salvation with Jesus, that's worth more than anything.
The greatest thing, and then you're living for a cause of true purpose. I just watched 42 for the first time about Jackie Robinson.
Yep.
Dude, I was blown away. But because a man chose to suffer and do what's right and try to, live the best life possible, that's more inspiring than, hey, him winning World Series or whatever. It's just the man he was. That's what I
Yep.
walk away with. So you're right. For all those athletes out there, high school, college, pro, man, if you can have your talent, your incredible God given talent, and then do it with God together, man, that's where you will maximize
Yep.
who you were created to be. So you
Totally.
have the talent, but you're missing out on like, oh man, there's so much more you could be doing and experiencing for yourself, but for others as well. So
Yep. Yeah, it makes me want to think, even as a coach, like keep the real court of gold in mind. When I go coach or when I'm trying to motivate the relationship aspect for our players, keep the real court of gold in mind. It's bigger than a gold medal. It's bigger than a dub.
yeah,
You know, keep
yeah,
that in
bro.
mind.
I love it.
Yep.
I want to read this scripture, and I don't know where we're at with time. We try to keep it about 20 minutes for those that tune it in. But in 1 Corinthians 9:24, it says, do you not know
Mm,
that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. So obviously talking about spiritually, hey, all of us, no matter what level you're at, man, pursue God like you're trying to win a prize. It is
amen.
not an easy, I'm going to take time off. Yeah, take your break. But man, there is a dedication, devotion that it takes to get to heaven.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's no cakewalk.
Amen, bro. That makes me think about maybe next week we can talk about active recovery for the disciple.
Oh,
So when you finish a season, a lot of times you let your hair down, right? Or whoever, whatever. You let you chill out. You kick back, like you take time off. So like
yeah.
how do we do that in our seasons of discipleship? What does active recovery look like?
I love it.
Um,
Because you
yeah,
got to go hard, like do your best you can, but then you need time like, hey, how do you balance that? I love it.
exactly. Yeah, but man, This was inspiring talk, El. I appreciate it, man, and I love the USA gear. I should have been geared out. Next time, I'll get some USA gear.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, I don't have the Iceman Classic gear, so hey, but hey, you know what? Swag in different ways.
You know where you can get it though?
Hey, tell me.
Pass the rock dot shop
Hey,
for fresh Iceman Classic gear.
well, hey, show it real quick, man. Show the people.
Hey,
What does it look like?
let's go.
Woo!
So this is Harold. So you got Harold. I actually got him a Carolina blue Kangol as well because that's his style. That's what he rocks. So he got the Kangol. He's got a cross necklace on in here, and then this is our second
Hey,
year we ran it. So
let's go. Hey, super proud of you doing that, and it was free. It was for the community.
yeah,
So, man, shout out to you. Washington State let you use their gym too. So,
they
sounds
did.
like it was a huge thing for the community. So, great job.
Yep. We're already looking at dates for next year, and hopefully we can get L out here for next year's.
I'm down.
Um, let's go. It'll be a great
do it.
time.
Yeah, I'll bring the fam.
Cool.
I love you, man.
Love you too, bro.